There's no doubt that the NBA in 2023 is as talented as ever and is great for the fans. We get to see historic games, historic individual performances, historical seasons, all the above. It's most definitely great for the game because the popularity just increases, the money increases, and y'all know when the money's good, everything else is good. It's great for us fans to just sit and watch. However, it does get tough for some organizations to weed out the cream of the crop talent sometimes. There are players that don't perform up to their potential in certain environments because of lack of opportunity or fit, and whenever they do get the minutes, they're on a short leash. One example that comes off the top of my mind is Cam Reddish. He was drafted to the Hawks. In a way, he was in competition with DeAndre Hunter. He was another wing that was drafted in that same draft class, but the idea was for both of them to play alongside with each other along with Trae Young, John Collins. Things didn't really go as planned. He got traded to the Knicks. Well, Tom Thibodeau has been notoriously known as not being interested in playing younger guys no matter what. So he never really got playing time there. When he did, he was on the short leash, and he's on Portland now and hasn't really had the chance to blossom his game. Speaking of the Knicks, you have a guy like Jalen Brunson who was on the Mavericks and had an opportunity to grow and expand upon his game. Granted, a lot of that came when Luka was out with injury, but nonetheless, he still was very impactful for the Mavericks, helping them to the Western Conference Finals just in 2022. That moment to shine allowed him to get an even bigger bag, a bigger role, a bigger opportunity in New York, and just look what he did this past season, right? Today, I'll be talking about a specific young player that I think needs to get the reps, needs the opportunity, needs to shine before his potential goes to waste. And speaking of the Mavs, that guy is Jaden Hardy. Now, I think Jayden Hardy is one of the most talented young guys in the game right now that we don't really talk about. This past year was his rookie year, of course. He played sparingly in only 48 games and averaged 9 points, 2 rebounds, and assists per game, and shot 44% from the field and 40% from three. I think this upcoming year and for years to come, these numbers will improve, and here's why. Hardy first caught my eye in the G League as a very explosive and versatile scorer. In the G League, he put on to display his excellent shooting off the dribble, but off the catch was where he made his mark, as he shot 40% on those type of shots. Despite his flashes, he did struggle with a lot of inefficiencies, a lot of poor decisions on the court, and I guess that turned a lot of people off about Jaden Hardy in the G League. Over time, though, his game did get better, he did learn from his mistakes, and he did improve upon his game, and the numbers show for it. Despite the growth during that season, he did fall to the second round, the 37th pick, to the Dallas Mavericks, of course. And before that year even started, Jaden Hardy was a projected lottery type of talent. And for him to fall all the way to the second round is a steal for the Mavs in and of itself, whether Hardy ends up really working out for them or not. So Hardy's rookie season was pretty much a roller coaster. He was in and out of the G League, was really a mainstay on the main roster come December when the Dallas Mavericks were dealing with a whole bunch of injuries. Luka was in and out. And in December, the weather wasn't the only thing that was cold. Hardy's jumper was ice cold as well. He got off to a very, very rough start from the field, but the potential and flashes were still there. He increased his production every single month since then, and that's correlated with constant playing time he was starting to receive as the year went along. And just like he did in the G League, he heated up as the season went along. And December and January combined, he only averaged 6 points per game on 42% from the field and an abysmal 29% from three. But in February alone, he improved every stat across the board as he felt more and more comfortable with the team and acclimated to the NBA game. February also included his career high game at that point when he dropped 29 points against Utah Jazz with no Luka Doncic on great efficiency, 8 of 12 from the field, 4 of 6 from three. He really put on to display an assortment of different things. He really impressed me with his pick and roll game. That's what really stood out to me about Jaden Hardy in that game specifically. His fearlessness, of course, was another thing. He does play with the ultimate confidence, so that is a double-edged sword sometimes, especially for young players. That can lead to a lot of bad shots, a lot of inefficient shots. But with most rookies, their pick and roll game is kind of suspect at best. With Hardy, I think he's a little advanced in that department for a rookie. When it comes to the pick and roll game, he knows how to use an assortment of moves, the snake move. He knows how to use step backs, hesitations, things like that to get to his spot. And he seemingly always gets to his spot. It's just a matter of if he makes it or not. His athletic ability is another thing that really stood out to me. He has a really good mixture of skill and athleticism. A lot of guys are either one way or the other. He has a great mix of both, and I think that's what makes him really dynamic. His explosiveness and quickness allows him to get to the basket at will. Now, does he always finish with efficiency at the basket? No, more on that in a minute. But he is capable of getting downhill repeatedly, and that's going to bode well for not only him, but for his teammates making plays. Speaking of making plays, he was an underrated playmaker, I thought, this past season. He still can get tunnel vision. He still takes ill-advised shots here and there. But he did impress me with some of the passes he made this season, more so when the season went along. So I think already right there, he's taking a step in the right direction. His overall shooting is very good for a young player. I think his ball handling has come along as well. He still can be turnover prone and reckless with the ball at times, reckless in traffic, but his playmaking and ball handling has really improved. So Hardy did show flashes of being a very valuable guy for this Mavericks team when given the opportunity. And I know a lot of Mavs fans just aren't happy with Jason Kidd right now for a bunch of different reasons. But one of the reasons is because he had Hardy on a short leash, didn't play him as much as they would have liked, and thought he could have helped them out in a lot of different ways, especially when those injuries started to pile up for Dallas. For the games Hardy played, I think he did show enough to be trusted to be a larger part of this roster next season. Like I said, there are areas of improvement, as such as his defense. His defense is not really up to snuff so far, and that can be said for a lot of young guys in the league right now. That will come over time. At least being a competitive defender is what you want to see out of guys like that. You do want to see him get better finishing at the rim. He shot about 50% at the rim. Not good, below league average. You would like to see him finish better. When he does finish, it looks pretty, but it just doesn't happen too often. His playmaking does need to continue to get better, because I already know he's going to become an even better scorer than he is right now. And when you become a better scorer, more attention's on you, you're going to have to make plays for other guys. And eventually it's going to get to the point he's going to have to make plays for Luka and Kyrie if he's going to be on the floor with them, if he's going to be this good and this dynamic scoring, right? He's going to need to be a better playmaker than he is right now. Not bad right now, but obviously he will continue to get better as time goes on. In this year's Summer League, Hardy had participated and made strides within his game already. He said he got a lot of takeaways from playing out there in the Summer League. As he said, when I get into the paint, playing the pick and roll, slowing down and making the right reads. So he does realize he has to become a better playmaker overall. And he took a step in the right direction this year already by playing in the Summer League and getting those reps in. He also mentioned he continued to focus on maximizing his impact, attacking off the catch. And that's very wise of him, knowing he'll be playing alongside Luka and Kyrie a bunch. And he'll be playing second, third fiddle to those guys. So him being able to catch and shoot or catch and attack a closeout is going to be key. He's already shown good flashes of that this past season. So him continuing to build on that, him continuing to finish better at the rim, I see this guy potentially being a 20-point per game scorer sooner rather than later. But as of right now, who knows? Maybe he's just a six-man type of guy for the Mavs. Maybe he finds his way into the starting lineup. Who knows? But I think he can be a six-man type of guy right now for Dallas, and can come off the bench and really create. So Luka doesn't have to do as much creation as he does, because he does a lot. He's going to be that third creator because there's no other creators on Dallas, really. I mean, Tim Hardaway Jr. is there. He's okay. He's not really consistent at what he does, so can't really rely on him too much. And just to mention, Hardy did shoot 40% from catch and shoots this past season, and that was top 5 among rookies. So he's going to help this team out a lot if given the opportunity. But now it's time for him to take his game to the next level, and let's see what he can do. Can't wait to see. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Jaden Hardy and his game. I think he's super uber talented of a guy. For him to fall 37th, I think is a travesty, despite what happened in the G League. But y'all let me know about Jaden Hardy. What are y'all's career projections for the guy? What do you think he can get to realistically this next season? Tell me what y'all think, man, and drop it down below in the comments. Also, if y'all like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to comment, share, subscribe, and yeah, man, that's all I can say. But this is Jimmy from Just the Facts. I'm signing out. Peace.